Hey, what's up guys? Back again, making another video. This time I'm gonna do a little different video. I'm probably gonna do a top 10, not of my highest grades or high-end cards to be exact. These are more of the cards that are, like a top 10 of sentimental value, or there's a reason why you wouldn't trade them, or why you even got them in the first place. So, I want to see what the community out there, have them make their own videos, and I like to know why they have those top 10 cards, or why they purchased them, or why they bought them. So yeah, so this isn't a high-end video. Well, there may be like two or just one high-end card in there that you'll see, but every card, I believe that every card has a story behind it. So therefore, you should tell your story. There's always going to be a memory attached to a certain card. So let's start off by me bringing out number 10. Why this is number 10? Obviously, Dodger fan. But the reason why this is number 10 was because last year when I graduated from basic training, I remember I missed like half of the baseball season, and all of a sudden, I turn on the news, watching highlights, and this Puig guy keeps popping up. I'm like, who is this dude? I gotta catch up on this. And this was his first card I ever purchased on eBay, and I was pretty happy. This is the second card I purchased coming out of basic training, so this is probably not gonna go away. Being a Dodger fan, and it's Puig. So that's number 10. On to number 9. Number 9 is gonna be Grady Sizemore. Now, the reason why this is number 9 was because I started collecting baseball cards in 2006. 2006, around that time was when Sizemore was, tearing it up. He was arguably one of the best center fielders there was in the game. Unfortunately, he succumbed to injuries, and he just wasn't the same player he was when he came up. So, Grady Sizemore was one autograph I always wanted to get when I first started collecting, before I even knew about eBay or autograph cards. Like when I collected, I just collected base cards because I was so new to it. I didn't know about the numbers, the refractors, the patches, the autographs. It was just completely a whole new world to this. Like I had collected stuff before, but never baseball cards. So this is a number 9. Number 8 is gonna be this Albert Pujols patch, which was the first patch I ever pulled out of a retail box. This is the first one ever. As you can see, the corner is a bit dented, but it doesn't matter because this isn't going anywhere, and it's Pujols, my favorite player. So I remember when I first pulled it out, I was like, well, that's neat. Pujols patch, I'm gonna rub it, see what it is. So I kept it. Never really thought much of it, but yeah, it's the first Pujols quote-unquote game-used jersey patch I ever pulled out. On to number 7. Number 7 is going to be kind of a high-end card, seeing how he's the American League MVP. But this is a Mike Trout autograph from TriStar, and it's numbered out of 80. And the reason this is number 7 is because I go to shop at SBay Cards. That's my card shop I go to. I go by there a lot, and if you go to SBay Cards, they put out boxes where they rebox certain products. So that, let's say from TriStar, they'll mix it in another box with like a graded Topps card, or different companies. They sell their own boxes, which is awesome because you could pull out almost anything you could imagine. And I never thought I'd pull out a Mike Trout autograph, so I purchased a box. I think it was like $60. Opened it right there, and bam, it was a Mike Trout autograph from TriStar. I'm pretty excited about that one. And so let's go to number 6. Now I know many of you guys may be surprised on the numbering on it, but there's a reason for it. Number 6 is gonna be this Hank Aaron rookie. Why? Well, number 6 is because it was the first card I bought out of basic training. It was the first, like, insanely expensive card I have ever purchased in my life. I mean, I have purchased the cards of like 130 was like the top, you know, and I spent a good chunk of money on this one when I got out, and it was graded. So, but I broke it out of the slab. I don't know why. Stupid me. Thought it would look better in the case. Nope. I should have just left it in the slab. But yeah, this is what I spent my hard-earned money fucking training and giving away up my freedom for those 5 months. But yeah, this is one of the first things I purchased, and you know, I don't regret it. Super happy to have this card. It's one that was been on my checklist for the longest time. So that's number 6. Now again, I'm not ranking them by value. I'm ranking them by sentimental value. Number 5, it's gonna be Hank Aaron 1955 4.5. This is the first actual graded card I purchased, and the first Hank Aaron card that I purchased, I believe. No, it was the first graded Hank Aaron card I purchased. And this was about 130. And I remember I bought a reprint one, and it was just like, okay, you know, I'll buy a reprint. You know, it looks exactly the same, but I was just so unsatisfied with the dimensions of it. It was too small. It wasn't the right size of card. It had the stupid foil stamp on the front. So I figured I'd buy a, you know, legit original one. And this is one of the few top jewels in my collection. Hank Aaron. What was that, number 5 or number 6? No, it's number 5, alright. Number 4, Bobby Avila. Now this one is one of the first 1952 cards I've ever purchased, and it's probably one of the first Latino players that wasn't Puerto Rican or Dominican that I actually knew about. So that pretty much tells you why it's number 4. So yeah, and as you can see, it's scribbled all over the back. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's not going anywhere. I'm not going to grade it. I'm not going to sell it. It's just going to stay in my collection. Number 3. So number 3 is going to be this 2006 Jeff Kent Topps. Why? Well, the reason why it's number 3 is because this card is what started it all. This is what drove me to the madness that is my baseball collection, as I call it. This is what started it all. And this is the original one too. As you can see, when I would go to school, you know, they would have us wear lanyards with their IDs on it. I would just try to jam this in there, and I guess after so much wear and tear, it's dissolved away. The corners aren't good. This isn't worth shit. Okay, but it's holds a lot of sentiment to me, especially since Jeff Kent was my favorite player. And the Dodgers, you know, I always played baseball. I was always a Dodger fan, but I wasn't like a hardcore Dodger fan. And then, boom, I got this card. I read about it. I started reading more about Dodger history, and you know, I'm probably one of the biggest fans today. You know, Jeff Kent was my favorite player. I don't care. He was a Giant player before. It doesn't matter to me. You know, he was an Astro before that too, or after that. I'm making an ass out of myself. Yeah, before that. So, so Jeff Kent was my favorite player, and he was on my favorite team. And this card is what started it all. You know, that design just, I don't know, the 2006 design just kind of pops out to me. So yeah, so this is what started the madness, Jeff Kent. Hence why it's in a case, and hence why it's, you know, number 3. Now number 2 and 1 are totally different. They're not even baseball cards. So if you guys want to just stop the video here and move on to whatever, go ahead. But now I'm going to finish this video off. And so number 2, it's going to be this right here. Yeah, it's a freaking Pokemon. Charizard nonetheless. But this is what got me collecting cards when I was a little kid. You know, third grade was when Pokemon boomed in elementary school, and everybody wanted the cards. Before this, like I never really understood the collecting of baseball cards. I always figured, okay, there's a picture of a dude playing baseball. You just have a picture of a guy, but collecting this, I was like, hey, this is a freaking monster. A badass dragon, that shiny dragon. And you can just look at it for days, play with it or whatever, play the card game, So before I actually got into collecting baseball cards, I never really understood them. But this is what, I collected before sports. And yeah, this is what drove me to the madness, which is collecting. There's two madnesses. There's the madness of baseball cards, and then there's the madness of having a hobby. So this is what started it all. Well, second, this is what drove me to wanting to pull this card out of packs. I would buy packs like crazy trying to get this freaking card, because Charizard, was the one that everybody wanted. It was the top jewel on the crown, as you would say, if that's even a phrase. Yes, this is Charizard. Eventually I got it. It wasn't this one exactly. This one was purchased about 2 years ago. And then, as you can see, it's a base set too, so it's like a reprint thing. But I have an original one. But the original one that I had pulled when I was a kid, I gave it to my cousin, and then that asshole just completely destroyed him. I don't know. But, this is number 2. And number 1 is one card that's never, ever leaving my collection, and this little piece of shit cardboard right here. All miscut. Okay, it's not even worth anything. It's not worth anything at all. It's just cardboard. And if you guys may remember, if you're young enough or old enough from the 90s, remember when Lunchables had a Pokemon promotion, and they had like a little panel in the back with Pokemon cards that you could cut out and trade with your friends, or try to collect the back panels of each Lunchable box. And this is one of the cards. This was Squirtle. Squirtle was my favorite. This is actually what really did started my collecting. This is what started the chase, the chase card, or as you would say. This was just, hey, I want to get all the freaking Pokemon and cards. I don't care what kind of cards they are, I just want to get them. And this was actually one of the first card type things I ever had. I give you a little information in the bag for like the Game Boy. I was a huge Pokemon fan. I still am. I still play the games. But this is what started it all. A freaking Squirtle. And as you can see, I try to put it in a Allen Against Your case, and it's smaller than that. So yeah, so this is it for today. These are the cards that started it all. Each card has history on it. I want to hear what you have to say about your cards, or what are your top 10 most sentimental cards that you have that aren't high end. I mean, if they're high end, cool. But if you have some that aren't high end, post them up, man. I want to learn about your guys' history, collecting, why you collected, what started it all. Alright, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.